Hi, my name is Peter Wilder, and I'm an HVAC drives application engineer at ABB. In this short presentation, I want to discuss how to program in the motor nameplate data off an EC titanium motor into an ACH580 series VFD. I'm going to cover how to program the motor data in two methods. First, I'm going to use primary settings, and then I will use the main programming menu in the VFD to enter in the motor data. Before we dive into how to program the motor data in, I want to discuss briefly what the EC titanium motor nameplate looks like, as it's slightly different than a traditional motor nameplate on an induction motor. The first item is current. Now this is actually the same. You have two different values, 2.3 amps or 1.2 amps, depending on if you're on a 230 or 460 volt system, 460 or 480 volt. So if it's 460 or 480 volt, you'd enter in 1.2 amps. If it's a lower 208 to 230 volt system, you'd enter in 2.3 amps. Now at item number 2, the RPM. This is slightly different. Here you see we have 1800 RPM, which is what you want to enter into the motor data in the VFD. You do not want to enter into the VFD 1760 RPM or some value like that. You want to enter in even 1800. At item number 3 here for voltage, when you get asked to enter in the voltage information in, you're going to look to this value here next to the acronym BEMF, which stands for back EMF voltage. This is the data you want to enter in corresponding. If you have a 230 or 460 volt system, you'd enter in 124 in this example, or 248. Do not enter in up here this value of 230 or 460 into the VFD. At item number 4, we'll enter in the hertz, which is just 60 hertz in this case, regardless of the voltage class you have. And the horsepower is 1 horsepower in this example. Now, after entering the motor nameplate values, we recommend adjusting the max current setting in the VFD, which you'll be prompted to do so, which is going to be a value of 150% or 1.5 times the nameplate FLA that you're entering into the VFD. This is a best practice to help protect the motor with magnets in it, like the EC titanium motor has. Let's now program the motor data into the drive using primary settings. We'll first select Menu, Primary Settings, and then we're going to scroll down to Motor. We're going to select the nominal values of system here. We have one drive connected to one motor, so it's single motor. We're now going to enter the motor data first by entering in the current. I have a 1.2 amp motor. The RPM is 1800 RPM even. The voltage. This is my back EMF voltage. On my motor nameplate, it was 248. The frequency is 60 hertz. Now the type of motor. An induction motor is like the old gold Baldor motors. Those are induction motors. That's what you normally set up when you set VFDs up with motors traditionally. But this is a different type of motor. This is what we call an EC titanium motor here. So we want to select EC titanium. The power is 1 horsepower. And for the cosine and torque, you don't have to enter that information in. We'll select Next. We're going to now select Save and Continue. You will see this identification run warning come up. We can just hit Hide. We now are going to go down and adjust the maximum current. As I mentioned earlier, we want to adjust the max current to 1.5 times the motor nameplate FLA. So in our case, that's going to be around 1.8 amps because we have a 1.2 amp motor. I'm going to press Save. And then further down here is just minimum torque and maximum torque. We're going to just leave those at the default settings. Here you can adjust, if necessary, how your speed reference will come into the drive. If you want to adjust your analog AI1 scaling, you can do that here, or also any preset speeds if you desire. Now, we're just going to do a standstill, a no rotate tune on this motor. Click Next. And it's going to ask you, do you want to adjust any of these values for the tune to a different value? These adjustments would be useful if you're going to have to do a rotational tune, but since we're doing a static tune, we don't have to worry about making adjustments to the blow. If you want to, you can just say set the values as permanent. It's the same, since we're not changing anything, it's not going to make a difference. But we could just select set values as permanent. Click Next. And now what we're going to do is we're going to press the ham button on the keypad, and the drive will start injecting energy into the motor to do a static ID run. All right, this now completes the ID run on the motor. Now the drive is ready to run the motor. Now let's program the motor data into the drive using the parameters menu. So we're first going to select menu, and we're going to navigate to parameters and complete list. Now most of the motor data is going to get entered into group 99 motor data. So first we have to adjust the type of motor. Asynchronous is the same as an induction motor, which is not the type of motor we have. We have an EC Titanium. Now in this list, EC Titanium is the same as option 3 here, PM Syn RM. And here we're just going to hit hide. Now for parameter 9904, we're going to select vector control mode, not scalar. Now the motor current is 1.2 amps in our case. The voltage is our back EMF voltage of 248. Frequency is 60 Hertz. A motor nominal speed in RPM. This is 1800 RPM even. The power is 1.0 horsepower or 1 horsepower. Now for your cosine phi or torque, you don't have to adjust those. The ID run here can be a standstill, and there hasn't been one performed yet, but one will be performed here. Before we do an ID run though, what we want to do is adjust the motor maximum output current, which is done up in group 30, parameter 3017. Under limits, here we want to edit this to 1.8, which is 150% of the motor nameplate FLA. The motor nameplate FLA was 1.2 amps. All right, got that done. So now we are ready to perform a motor ID run. Here we can just now press the hand button, and the drive will inject energy into the motor to do a static or no rotate ID run. All right, the ID run was successful. You are now ready to run the motor. If you have any questions about how to set up the ACH580 drive with an EC Titanium motor or anything further, please reach out to your local ABB representative for assistance.